Franklin, how we doing?
Good.
We meet again, brother.
Back.
Now, as in your background, we know that you were at Sony. Was the president of Columbia or Sony Pictures?
I was at Sony Pictures. I was the senior vice president of production. I oversaw films like Not Easily Broken, which was produced by T.D. Jakes, as well as Jumping the Broom. And I also did Heaven Is For Real. I did Whitney Houston's last film, Sparkle. I was also involved in Pursuit of Happiness, and I was also involved in The Karate Kid. So these are some of the films that had themes of faith and some dynamic, and that they were definitely a part of my job. And I was blessed to be able to carve out an identity and a brand almost within the studio that helped me ultimately transition now to my own company, Franklin Entertainment, to be able to make content for my own company, and I'm excited about that.
How does that work when they put movies on the shelf? They still pay you for the option, and then they just say, oh no, we're not going to do it, but thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, I mean, what the blessing and the curse of selling a project to the studio is what you're describing. So you sell a project to the studio, and they option it from you, and they decide, okay, well, right now, let's say we option it for the first period is 18 months or 24 months, and so they pay you. And then after that they say, oh, we still like this project, but we're not quite ready to make it, so why don't we extend the option? And then you get to the end of that option, which could be another year and a half, 2 years, and then they say, well, we still like it, because what they don't want to do with some projects is give it up to someone else, because even though they aren't ready to make it, they know it's a good project, so they hold on to it. So, but what happens normally is at a certain point you get to the end of all your options, and they can either decide they're going to pay the purchase price, or they can let it go.
How has Hollywood changed your life for the better, for the worse, for whatever?
It's been great. It's changed my life in an awesome way, because I started in Hollywood when I was 18 years old. And I've worked there for 20 years, and every opportunity that I've had, professionally and otherwise, has come because of Hollywood. Because I was in Hollywood, it allowed me to speak around the world. Because I was in Hollywood, it allowed me to write books. Because I'm in Hollywood, it allowed me to make films that can inspire and touch people. Because I'm in Hollywood, it's helped me, get on the television. We talked before the interview about some of my appearances on Dr. Oz. Because I'm in Hollywood, I met my wife. So Hollywood has really been awesome for me, and been life-changing.
By the way, who's your wife?
My wife is Megan. Her picture just came up on my phone when
I said that. Isn't that something?
Miss you, baby.
This is the system I was taught. God, family, work.
Amen.
If you don't have God, how you going to have family, and how you going to go to work? God's not guiding you in your spiritual. Satan is in everything.
Yeah.
God is in everything, but we have choices. So you don't have to go to the dark side to make it Hollywood.
No, you
and
don't.
You're a perfect example.
And I think that's the beauty of Hollywood, and I think it's the beauty of just humanity, right? Is that we're all in different walks, and Hollywood is a place where you have a cross-section of everybody.
Right.
You have black, you have Latino, you have LGBTQ, you have Jewish, you have Christian, you have Muslim, all working together to make content, for the world. Right. And there are, stories from each section that get made. It's not about, hey, do you agree with that? That's not the issue. Mm-hmm. The issue is, do you love them? Do you understand them? Have you taken enough time to really see what they're going through? And a lot of times, film and TV can be a very powerful way to show. Someone may have a prejudice against another group because they've never had exposure to that group. Well, they watch a film, they see a television show, it may help understand, hey, I didn't know. At the end of the day, we all got to come together as God's children, and God doesn't shine on a select few. We're all his children, all right? Right. And as part of his children, we all got to come together and love each other and reach across the aisle and say, hey, you know what? You may not have had your experience. You may not have had mine. But that's not an excuse not to at least try to get to know you and to love you.
You know what? You said that so eloquently. So just laid it out plain and simple. But nonetheless, Mr. Franklin, I really appreciate this interview. And I know you make yourself available, brother, and I really appreciate it. appreciate you.
Thank you, as
And
always.
is there anything you want to tell people out in television, TV land, that what good advice would you give a person that's getting into this business?
You have to be passionate, you have to be persistent, and you have to be patient. Those are the three things that you need in order to make it. And you also need God. Because I can tell you that it's a difficult business. It's very challenging. It's very rewarding, but not without paying the price. And in order to pay the price and keep your soul intact, you got to have God to help you do that.
And you know what? I've been told, and I live by this: if God's not in the equation,
That's right.
it don't matter.
It
It
don't
ain't
matter.
gonna work.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin, for this
Anytime.
interview.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
God bless you too.
And in your face.